The luxury beast is back. This is the all-new generation of the Mercedes S-Class in the AMG trim, the S63, or as they call it meanwhile, Mercedes minus AMG S63 E performance. What is that actually? And all about this vehicle here with Thomas and Autogefühl for you. Let's go. Here with the front for the first time with an all AMG grille. Before that, the S-Class was the only AMG model in the lineup that had the normal sophisticated front grille. This generation I thought, the hell with sophistication, let's attack all the way in a sporty style. And optionally here also with black fins, there's a separate option to make an even more sinister look. This is selenite grey Magno. My favorite matte color. It just looks stunning here, especially in our car heaven studio here for today. With open top. That's quite cool, isn't it? The headlamps, as we know from the normal Mercedes S-Class and the new generation, here also standard then with the digital light for the S63, so you can also have some projections in the front and even a sophisticated high beam function. Other than that, a very sporty low area. And this vehicle is equipped with a black package or night package as they call it at Mercedes, and also with the carbon fiber package. You can especially see that here in the lower air intakes. If you wonder what that is, this is the LiDAR sensor as an option for the level 3 autonomous driving that is also available for the S63. And I have already driven that in LA. You can also check a separate video of that. And we also see some details of that on the interior very soon. Let's continue. Here, by the way, the AMG logo, Falterbach is the place. This one is now always here on top of the hood. It's a new feature. Then let's take a look what's powering this beast. It's a 4-liter V8. Bi-turbo and 800 horsepower of system output together with an electric motor at the rear axle. So it is electrified, and the battery here 13 kilowatt hours, and that means double the size in the AMG GT 4-door or in the C63. This is still not meant to drive all electric for a longer period of time. It is a boost battery, so for more performance. And then 3.3 seconds is the acceleration figure. It's even 0.1 seconds quicker than the C63. Quite impressive. Top speed, either 250 or optional 290 kilometers an hour. Where would you drive that? Yeah, German Auto one, of course, but even, I mean, come on. I don't even drive that fast, and that means something. And then that would be in the miles figure, 155 miles per hour or optional 180 miles per hour. And that you can definitely not drive anywhere, actually. Here you can really talk about length, yes. 5 meters 34 or 210 inches. That is the standard version in the US or the long wheelbase version in Europe, and it's only available with the long wheelbase. That also will be the case for the facelift of the previous generation. Here you can see once again the carbon fiber pack with the side mirrors. We also have this V8 Bi-turbo E performance badge. Air suspension is standard, as well as an anti-roll control, and also now rear axle steering. And it makes the car more agile, at the same time more versatile in, in parking lots and narrow basement garage and so on. The wheels here either 20-inch standard, these here are 21-inch wheels, and these were even further the forged wheels, making them lighter and stronger at the same time. And talking about expensive options, behind it you can see the carbon ceramic brakes, and here then with these golden or copper brake calipers. That's definitely a very stunning look. Coming to the rear, here this new generation has a more, let's say, fluent design, like a raindrop as well. S63 logo here with red lettering at the side, chrome style on the top, and a very nice three-dimensional tail lamp design right here. Wait a minute. Autogefühl fake exhaust alert, the AFAP, Autogefühl fake exhaust police, because, well, the outside, these are very beautifully done tips, but the real exhaust is on the inside. Yes, it has also to do with heating issues, but come on, can't you make it for real? Yeah, but at least we can have already here right now a nice sound test for you. And the turning indicators, I think, yeah, very beautiful already in the front, and especially then to the Magno grey color, isn't it? And this also in the rear then, where the sculptural red elements on the top part then turn yellow for the turning indicators, or then in this case the hazard lights that you can see both at the same time. The car key gets the AMG badge here, and you also have these flush door handles, so when I close the vehicle, here we go, and when you approach the vehicle or open it again, see automatically, and then door closing sound. Very solid, and of course also here the soft close is available. Then inside of the doors You can see here the integration of the ambient lighting is already beginning right here. Red is of course a fitting color for the AMG today, but you can pick different colors. And then the integration here, it looks everything very clean and so on, but a lot of high gloss black use. Then you have the AMG entry badge right here. It's also illuminated. AMG floor mats. And then the AMG steering wheel. Yes, AMG. So with the badging here. And same also as we were at AMG line steering wheels. Also in the true AMG here with the dual spoke design. Here also capacitive buttons on the steering wheel. Once again, they look clean, but controlling them while driving is not too easy actually. This here, you might wonder, is once again the level 3 autonomous driving. There's a special episode about that, how it works and how I drove through Los Angeles with that one in a Mercedes S-Class. So this is all the preparation for the level 3. When this is allowed then in your country, you press that and then it begins basically that you can drive autonomously on the motorway. It's 1.89 or 6'2". So when I'm here on the screen here in the car show. So that leaves some headroom right here. Steering wheel, electronic function, up and down, in and out. Takes a while, but it's a reliable feature. And it's a very soft cushion. And these seats here in the S-Class, you more feel like you are sitting really on the seat and not in the seat. Interior overview, really clean layout. Here we can also get some carbon fiber dash. This is of course fitting then to the AMG. And you have this vertical screen in the new S-Class. In the EQS or EQE, you can also get this hyper screen. That's not available here for the S-Class, but I think that's totally fine because then you can play with the nice decor elements right here. And this is big enough, definitely size-wise, isn't it? You also have special AMG gauges here in the screen. You can already see here, AMG performance dash. And then you can also see this technology with the battery then in the rear, but it applies power to the whole drivetrain then. And then you can, there we go. Also can see here then figures while driving about the drivetrain and the vehicle, and everything is very well visualized. Here we go. Then, this kind of like runs up then, and here's also the IWC stopwatch. You can do start stop. Is always a nice feature, right? It looks really fancy. Yeah, it is not analog, and an analog clock does do some on luxury vehicles, but this one, I think it's a very nice idea that you have some more emotional things, although it is not an analog one. And then you can also get to this track pace app. I'm not sure if you would visit a track really with that one. I've tested that one in the Mercedes C63, for example. You can pick different race tracks here, but I'm not sure if you would redo drag race with the S63. Maybe would you do that? Tell me in the comments, and also some more telemetry data. Of course, it's always also easy just to use Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, both available with wired or wireless function. And this is always here the home button. The temperature always stays here in that area. And the cool thing is, Michelle, if you zoom out maybe a little bit or come a little bit more up, here look at the top part, and it really has this great animation in the ambient lighting when you switch the temperature. That looks really amazing. And as I said, and can we please take a second to applaud them for including the ambient lighting also inside the additional speakers here of the Burmester sound system. At the steering wheel, most important thing here, the drive mode selector, Sport, Sport Plus and so on, so enhances the sporty driving, or EL is the electric driving. With that battery here, double the size than in the C63 or in the AMG GT 4-door. You can then silently start in the morning in the basement garage and don't wake up your neighbors, or you do wake up your neighbors. And another good possibility for that is also with the so-called emotion start, sorry, that was German. Then here, holding down the left pedal and then using the start button, and then you basically have directly, an open valve in the exhaust, and it sounds then like this. Digital instruments also come with AMG specific gauges. You have here, for example, Super Sport, but also Normal Sport, like this. And then you can also have the track pace, and it changes how everything is visualized. But if you think, hey, that's too fancy for me, you can always go back to the classic view or also here to the GPS view full screen. Head-up display, no, it does not include these big AMG letters, and no, I could not take them home. I couldn't ship them home. Yeah, the head-up display is a small number, or the small the small zero there in the front, and you can also have some GPS information on there. Middle console, yeah, more high gloss black. That's what I don't fancy that much. On the inside, cup holders, but they don't hold bottles that tight here with these. But this one seems new. It's a little bit, tighter than here on the inside. Might be worth a try. 2 USB-C chargers, and there's also inductive charging in the very front then here. And this is just, maybe like a space when your smartphone here and you have the cable connection. And then you have this typical split opening by Mercedes here, and more space underneath, 2 more USB-C chargers and another inductive charging mat. Well, welcome to the rear executive interior. Which ones are available? Soon to that. First of all, when I'm driving, this is the legroom I still have. This is the long wheelbase version in Europe and the standard version in the US. Also nicely with the ambient lighting integration for the rear seats, isn't it? But even more important, of course, is the other part. Here you can also get rear seat entertainment, for example. Then everything in the front is being mirrored here. And you can see these are the special belt bags. So these are special seat belts that add safety, because in the case of a crash, they kind of blow up. Not like go to pieces, but blow up like on the inside, and you have like this air cushion. And then the area which is, which the belt is covering on your body is just wider, and that actually adds more to safety. So overall, you can get a through bench. This would be standard. Then this one is 2+1. You can sit in the middle, more or less, but then you can also fold this one here down, this console, and you have another control unit right here. And then what you can also get is the full first class 4, as they call it. And then this would be like an even, like a through console, where you can get out some, tables and stuff, and so on and so on. But of course, to me, the most important thing is the folding flat function. And this one is already available here for the 2+1 seating. And so the Amg S63 interior, you can get all different options and combinations, which you can also get for the normal S-Class. And you can see here, already a seat moved to the front. And then it takes actually a while. Then it moves even further up. If you wonder, by the way, yes, it does obstruct the view of the driver then to the right side. That's probably something that professional chauffeurs have to live with. Further, now this lower part comes up for the footrest. Here we go. I already have taken off my shoes. You've probably seen that. There we go, and the last piece appears. There we go. So this is then, this is the full setup. I love these microfiber cushions here, by the way, so they are really lovely. But the thing is, me with my size, I cannot stretch my legs out completely. This is, of course, criticizing at a very high level. But thinking about the Audi A8L or the all-new BMW 7 Series, they have more space, and I can completely stretch my legs here. So I'm not sure if the use of space is not that good here, because they're all more or less at a similar length. So the using of space in here is not fitted for the tallest people. So, my buddy Michael Jordan, I always refer to him, when it's like even taller than me. Yeah, probably should go then for the 7 Series or the A8L as for the length here for the executive seating. What's actually easier than the all-new 7 Series, where you have this screen here. Here I like the simple control here of the windows. By the way, dual insulation glass here for all windows. Then you can put them up, and one more press is then for this electric shade. This is a simple layout here, and it's just good to have that way. One more press to put this one down, another press to put the windows down. And behind that are the controls then here for the top shade of the rear part of the panoramic roof. This one cannot be opened from the glass, but you can close and open the shade. And then there's also the rear shade. Yeah, sorry, Michelle, it's a little bit complicated to film here today. I admit that. So here, there is the rear shade, and everything can be activated very, very quickly and easily without going into some very deep menu and so on, just by pressing here at the inside. So yeah, in this case then, a lot of the user interface previous generation S-Class to this generation has become more complicated, but this one here actually is very straightforward. And I think we can all agree Mercedes knows their stuff with ambient lighting, so also here around the seatbelt holes. And this is not only for show off, but you know, when it's dark and you need to find this one here, of course it's not the fitting one, then you can easily find where to put in your seatbelt. Let's take a short look at the trunk. And you can see here, this is where the subwoofer is. That limits the space a little bit, but it's the same way also in the normal Mercedes version if you pick that. And you can see it is also limited in height. It's the same way for the S580E. So for the plug-in hybrid, they are limited in height in the very same way. So you still have kind of vast trunk because it's a large car, but definitely a normal S-Class without any hybrid technology, you know, would just be deeper in here. And you can also load through, if you see that. Yes, it is the most powerful S-Class yet, but it's also 2.6 tons in weight. How will that translate to the drive? We'll find out very soon. When you subscribe, you will know then with our driving review. And if you haven't seen it so far, our S-Class coverage, or what about the competitor, the BMW 7 Series?